How's it going, guys? My name is Jakey and welcome back to another Final Fantasy 3 job only run. This time our knights are chosen by the wonderful wield decider that we spun at the end of the dragoon only run. Our 4 knights today are going to be Bash from Final Fantasy 12, Steiner from my favourite Final Fantasy 9, Endrick from Dragon Quest 11 because I couldn't think of any more from Final Fantasy, and Neon from Stranger's Paradise because when I googled her name it came up and said she was a knight and we needed a woman for the group. The rule set is more or less the same as last time. Rule number 1, we must remain an onion knight until we unlock the required job. Rule number 2, we can use different job outside of battle to make us mini, towed, but nothing else. Because we need to be minied or towed to get into certain places. We cannot use it to heal, even though you can't really do that anyway. Rule number 3, once we unlock the job we must change into it immediately and remain in it for the rest of the run. Rule number 4, we're going to try and keep the grind into a minimum. Not really a rule, but we are going to try and keep it in there, whatnot. Rule number 5, we cannot spin the wheel to see our next run until we finish this run. So I can't see what I'm doing for the next run or the run after that before I finish this run. And then rule number 6, we will be attempting all the optional content, and I kind of forgot to add this last time but I still did it. So with all that done, the challenge for you guys will be to guess the level of the party and the time taken for the run. Leave a comment below and let's see who is psychic. Right, so the run begins always in the cave. Now, I believe we get the night job once we unlock the fire crystal, so I'm going to skim over the deets until we get to that point. We make our way through the cave and come across a wind crystal which is guarded by the land turtle. As he is the first boss of the game, he goes down pretty quick, and we unlock the jobs that are not needed for this run. So we move on to a town filled with ghosts and land an airship from one to go to a cave where we come across a princess who can seal the monster, turning all the people in town into ghosts. It's also turned the people of her kingdom into ghosts, but Andrew's trying to help the ghosts that give us the airship because he seems like a good guy. Now because we are Onion Knights, we are kinda weak and we have terrible equipment. An Onion Knight starts at 5 on everything, and the next start increases at level 10, which grants +1 to each start. The only thing that increases with levels is HP, but due to the low stamina start, we don't get a lot, so we have to do a little grind at this point, but mainly to get the job levels, which will increase the amount of hits we do, as we are missing a lot of the time. Job levels increase with turns taken, but not XP, so you need to take more turns during the fight rather than win more fights for your job levels to go up. The other reason we grind is because if a character goes down, they're down for good, and we can't buy any Phoenix downs, so we need more HP as well. After grinding to level 8, we can take a couple of hits without going down, and if anyone goes down we might have to leave them, as we need all characters to take down Jin. We confront the Jin, I always call him the Jin and I think it's Jin, and he's hitting us for more damage than our HP, and though I try to keep people in the fight, we end up game overing. So we start back at the entrance of the room, and the second random encounter we come against decimates us. Looks like I might have to grind for some levels after all. I do this by running up and down next to the Jin. I bet he's thinking, what the hell are they doing? After we get our breath back on 1 or 2 levels, we head in for the rematch, and we beat him within 4 rounds of attacks. He downs Neon as his physical attack still 1-hits us, but when he uses fire only does 50 damage, and he ends up using that for the rest of the fight. The princess then breaks the curse and I head back to town to see if the ghost with the airship, and his name is Sid. Didn't see that coming, you know, airships, Sid, Final Fantasy, no way, chance in a million. So we get some new equipment and we drive the airship into a rock, destroying it and taking Sid home. Surprisingly, he isn't pissed about us breaking his airship, and I had a feeling he wouldn't be. He seemed like a pretty cool guy. Upon entering the town of Canaan, we find an elixir, which we give to Sid's wife for some loot, and then we head to Dragon's Peak. Enemies here can petrify, so we need to stock up on gold needles for possibly the shortest dungeon of the game, as we go up a floor and we're picked up by a big dragon and taken to his nest. In the corner, hiding within the nest, is Desk, who laughs at us for getting caught, even though he did too. Good one, guy. After running away from the big dragon, we jump out the nest and we find a forest with a mini person in, and thanks to our new buddy, we have the spell Mini. Now this is the first time that we actually have to change the job to become mini to progress the story. So we do that. This time round, Bashk is going to be our designated white mage, and after becoming mini we run to Tozus. And then we leave through the Tozus tunnel, which has encounters, but due to us being mini we can't actually hurt anything. So we flee until we're out of there, and there is no boss to fight there, so no problems. We then enter Viking's Cove and turn ourselves back to normal, and Bashk back to an onion knight. If you didn't guess it, it's that time again where we have to farm enemies for damage and items in this tiny patch of water to take on the next dungeon's boss, as we have to be mini for it. We can't leave the patch of water because the Neptune dragon will attack us. So after the farm we are level 20 and have 7 damage and items. The drops are rare, so it takes a little while. After turning back mini and entering the Neptune temple, we flee from every encounter until we reach the giant rat. After throwing 5 damage and items, we leave the dungeon, fleeing from every encounter on the way out. We now have access to a ship, but not really, because I forgot to fix the Neptune statue before I left, and as I leave the patch of water it attacks. Luckily I flee, which I didn't know you could do. Now with the statue fixed, I am free to roam the seas, and the first stop is Gulgan Gooch to get the Toad spell, and I bet you can guess what I've got to do next, can't you? So I head to Castle Argus, where it has a healing spring, and get Bash to cast Toadness and enter the Tower of Owen. I only need to have Toad on to enter. I can change back when inside, so I untoad everyone and make Bash an onion knight again. This dungeon is kinda long, but we are stocked up on potions and other healing items, so we don't struggle too much. Enemies here go down in 1 hit due to the earlier farm, and Medusa goes down in 3 rounds of attacks. And she doesn't really pose a problem. After Dash plays with fire, we are teleported out of the tower. Next stop, the Dwarf Cave. And can you believe it, we got to be told again to enter the next dungeon. But not go through it, so it's the same process as last time. Enemies here hit a bit harder, and the Manticore enemy can hit hard and petrify at the same time, so we must be cautious of them. Hendrik goes down, but now we can buy Phoenix Downs. We get him straight back up. We then make our way through the dungeon and come face to face with Gutsko, which gives us a little scare but goes down in just more than 4 rounds of attacks. We then start to leave the dungeon but feel a presence behind us, but we don't let it bother us. We return the urn back to the pedestal, and Gutsko jumps up from behind us and steals the urn and heads to the fire cavern. We chase Gutsko out to the fire cavern, and the enemies in there are pretty deadly. They can take more than 1 hit to kill them, and they can hit me kind of hard, and sometimes hit the numbers. While progressing through, Hendrik goes down again, making him the weakest link. Goodbye. But we are able to get him up, and we keep pushing through. Eventually we make our way to Gutsko, and he's in front of the fire crystal. Yes, I can almost taste the night job. But then he turns into a dragon. Nice. Salamander can use flame, which hits hard and damages the entire party. When we enter the fight we get lucky, as he uses 2 physicals and he drops Steiner. He then uses 2 flames and wipes us. Round 2. We don't trance it, and we use our ice damage and items, and he beats us again. Round 3, we forgot to heal up before the fight, and we throw it. Round 4, I change tactics and we try to out heal him, but it doesn't work either. I decide to grind and get Steiner up a level, but game over while doing so. So I get annoyed and I head back in for round 5 and lose another 2 times, take me to 8 attempts. I left, done a little grind, bought ice shields, which lower the damage flame does. Round 9 baby. With the ice shields he only does 100 damage, and we use all our ice items. Heal back up, then do a round of attacks, and we've done it. We've finally beaten Shia LaBeouf. Wait, that's not what I was doing. But anyways, knights baby. We can now equip the good equipment we got from the other places, and we are looking good. Now we head to Torkel. Get rested and escape by making ourselves mini. You know how it goes, so I won't bore you with the details, but we only need to be mini to get into the dungeon. So we get straight back to normal and bash straight back into an onion knight. The enemies here aren't really a problem, but my job level is. But we have high defense now, so we are getting through it alright. Then we face Hein. He has high physical defense, and you're supposed to guess his weakness and hit him with magic. We can't do that, and we're out of damaging items. We're also weak to magic ourselves, and he likes to cast that. Also, due to our low job levels, we are barely making a scratch. We have a couple of downs, but due to him only doing single target attacks, we keep our team kicking. We get low on potions and gamble and throw 2 bomb fragments and a Zeus's Wrath, which end up healing him, so that just took me back 2 turns. He then changes barrier and I gamble with my last bomb fragment and hit him for 350, ending the fight. We got lucky. After escaping Cast Line, we head to Cast Lagos and get the Wheel of Time, which we give to Sid, and he makes our ship fly. But before we did that, we done a little grind for job levels. We pick up some magic keys and we have a look for better equipment. Once all that is done, we leave the floating continent and head to the wrecked ship where we find the blood sword, which is basically going to be how Bash heals from now on. We give Arya a potion and she asks us to take her to the water temple. We oblige and only find a fragment of the water crystal there. She then asks us to escort her through a cave just behind the temple. Enemies here are fairly easy, but the ones towards the end of the cave cast magic and surprise Hendrik. He nearly goes down. We then heal up and enter the room with the crystal, and we almost get taken out by a poison arrow, but Arya takes a shot for us. You shan't be forgotten. We then face off against Kraken, and he is easier than Salamander due to only doing single target attacks. After about 5 rounds of attacks, he is down. Then an earthquake emerges and we ditch the girl. Forgot her name and we try to escape. We wake up several days later in a town called Malice. No, that one's actually called Amur. After speaking to the locals, we found out that our ship has been clamped and we must head to the sewers to get special shoes that will let us cross some bog to get to the gold mansion, where a guy has a key for the clamp of our ship. That's pretty roundabout though, isn't it? The enemies in the sewers are pretty easy, and the boss is 8 goblins from the first dungeon of the game. Boss doesn't sound right. Let's call them Force Encounter. We get past them, get the shoes, head to the mansion. We need to use our magic keys in this mansion, and the enemies are easy enough to handle, but they can sometimes confuse our party, which can be a pain. We finally get to Goldor, and after 6 rounds of attacks and 1 heal, we beat Goldor but lose Bash. But it's not a super difficult fight, but I know the next boss is going to be. After fleeing, our ship immediately gets shot down and we lose it. Now, we are stuck in Castle Saronia, so we head to the Dragon Spire to get equipment that is now useless to us as we are no longer dragoons. Then, we go and save Alice from a bar fight. Next stop, Garuda. We lose, as he always casts lightning, and it hits the entire party for way more than we can heal. We have to grind now, as we can't get any new equipment as all the stores are closed until you beat Garuda. After grinding up to level 36 and re-attempting Garuda, after a pretty long fight of mostly healing, I lose after running out of 5 potions. So I make a statement of saying I'm probably going to need to be about level 50 to win. So after grinding to level 50, I go in for round 2 and we are hitting a lot harder. We also have like double the health so we had before, but lightning still hitting us for about 400-500 damage. But I just go for hit. Wow, I did an extra H there. And we beat them in about 3 rounds of attacks. I'm guessing we must have been close in the first fight, and hopefully I'm not too powerful for the next boss, which is a ways off. After we got our new ship, we head straight to Dogger's mansion and then into his basement. We need to be mini for this part, and unfortunately we can't change back, so it's time to run from everything again. After running from everything, we make it to where Dogger reveals my airship was a submarine. So we head to the Temple of Time for Noah's loot. In the Temple of Time, we get some new weapons and armor and find out that we are not super OP. We still need to heal and stuff after the mobs, and after getting the loot, we go and wake Une up. After we wake her up from her slumber, we head to the Ancient's Ruins. I'm sure I called it Ancient's Cave last time, but don't worry. I think I've corrected my mistake. Here I can buy blood swords and defenders as backup, as well as diamond armor. Now we are kitted out, we make our way through the ruins, no problems. We have now acquired the Invincible, so we can travel everywhere we can. That makes sense, that really makes sense. We can travel everywhere we can. Fair. While in the Invincible, we head to Falgabard Cave and get the chest, and yet again we forget the optional encounter here. I hadn't yet discovered it in this playthrough. Time for the optional content. First stop, Bahamas Slayer, and the first attempt he beats us. So we switch to a defender and blood sword instead of 2 blood swords, and the extra damage from the defender is enough to do him in. Next is Lake Door, where Leviathan resides. We fly through same as we did in Bahamas Slayer and come face to face with Leviathan and beat him first time. Throw in your catacombs next, and we need the sub. Speaking of subs, subscribe to the channel for much more content like this. Moving on. The catacombs are easy enough and gives us some elixirs. Now for Odin. He was super easy, which was expected as he is the weakest of the 3. So I summarise that hitting level 50 for Garuda was a little much. Now the last optional dungeon, which is a sunken cavern. It has no boss, just some loot. So time to raid it and move on. I did have to change to a dual defender for an enemy due to him being undead. Then I headed to the Cave of Shadows to carry on with the story. In the Dragoon only run, I struggled here first time around, but now I'm flying through. The Knight's defense is super high, and I think the diamond armor is weakened magic attacks to us. I think. We get to Hectonche, hope I said that right, and he's super easy. The only reasons I needed the levels was because I needed to be more tanky against Garuda, but I couldn't buy armor or blood swords. But now I got good armor and blood swords. Everything's like gone pretty easy. Now time to go to Doga's Grotto, which we get teleported to once we go inside Doga's mansion. We get through the mobs pretty easy and we head into a boss rush. Doga's up first, and I forget to heal before the fight, but due to the blood sword, that's no problem. We defeat them easily, and next up is Une. She goes down even faster than Doga, but her holy hits a lot harder than Flay did. Now with all the fangs obtained, we destroy the statues guarding the crystal tower and head into the crystal maze, where we fight Titan. Now I don't know why I called it the crystal maze. I think I might have been trying to reference that old show, the Crystal Maze, but it's called the Ancients Maze, I'm 90% sure of. So yeah, don't go mad at me in the comments. He has Flare, which hurts but goes down with next to no trouble. We unlock the Earth Crystal, then head deeper into the maze. We got some better loot here for Bashk, and we don't really struggle while going through. So now I've been saying for a while that I don't think anything is going to give me trouble in the game, until we get to the Dark World. And after we beat King Behemoth easily, I am convinced. We get through the maze and into the tower, but we go straight to Eureka to get the best weapons and armor in the game. We also get Ribbon. The weapons are hidden behind bosses, and the first boss is Hein for the Moon Ring. Hein. I meant to write Amon. Amon for the Moon Ring. But he works like Hein, and he literally looks like Hein, just a different like skin, different colour. He changes weaknesses every few turns, and he also has high physical defense, so you're supposed to beat him with magic, but we don't have magic, and we don't need it. But the fight does take a little while. Next is Kunoichi for the Master Moon. The most deadly move is Eriga, which is for nearly 2,000, but we win without losing anyone, and it wasn't a very long fight. The Fabled Sword in the Stone is next, and is guarded by General. We forget to heal from the last fight, but it's all good as he doesn't do much damage with his single target attacks. After we beat them and go to equip our new sword Excalibur, we realise we could have equipped the Moonring Blade, which would have sped up the last 2 fights. The next boss, Skyla, is guarding the Elder Staff, which we can't use, nor can we use the last 2 jobs that come with it. Speaking of the jobs, there's Sage and Ninja. I haven't included them in the wheel because we would have to get this far as an Onion Knight, and at that point we would have more or less beaten the game. That being said, I am happy to add them if enough people want to see them. So if you are one of them people, then leave a comment down below, and enough comments, and I will chuck them in the wheel. Back to the fight. We won. She used Kuruja, which prolonged the fight, and then she almost took out Bashk with her high level magic, but due to her changing target every attack, we won with no casualties. Last and not least, Ragnarok, guarded by Guardian. Surprisingly, he was one of the easiest, if not the easiest. Now we have the weapons, now to get the armor, which is in the last room of Eureka in a hidden shop. Here we can get the crystal armor, which is the best, and we can equip until we get the ribbon headgear later. Now it's time to ascend the crystal tower while getting all the chests for some extra elixirs. There's not much to say about the Crystal Tower this time. We blew through the mobs, unfortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it. We didn't encounter any dragons this time round. So, we are face to face with Xande. I'm pretty confident we can take him. That confidence is misplaced, however, because we are taken out by him super fast. Next strat is equip the best weapons and don't worry about healing, even though he hits like a truck. Failed. Next time we keep our blood swords on and equip reflective mails. And reflective mails do sod all, but somehow we win. Guess the RNG gods was on our side. Next is Cloud of Darkness, and we all know how this goes. So next stop, World of Darkness. The only thing I'm worried about here is Ahriman, and even more so now that the reflective mail is bollocks. First stop is Cerberus, as he's definitely the weakest and I may need to grind some more levels. But before that, I put my crystal armor back on and then we get another ribbon. Xande's clone is a lot easier than his original, so we have no problem getting the other ribbons. Next up, we fight Cerberus. And he was harder than I expected, knocking down Neon and Bash. Knocking down Neon and getting Bash and Hendrik in the red. That knocks my confidence a bit, but at least we have a free heal now. But as we are nearing the end of the run, can you guys guess what job the mighty wheel will choose next? Next, we head to Echidna and grab another ribbon on the way, and lost Neon again while going for it. Echidna, we meet again, and I lose. I feel like it's a bad call by the ref and I have a rematch, and the ref is super against me again, so one last try, and the ref was right, I'm too weak. We decided to try Ahriman for some reason and pick up the ribbon in that room while we were on our way, and we lose Hendrik in that fight. The fact that I'm losing people to Xande's clone should be an eye opener that I'm not strong enough, but that's clearly going over my head. Onwards to Ahriman. He beats me so fast, and I think that the problem is my blood swords, and I equip the defenders instead, and obviously I lose again. We move on to the two-headed dragon, hoping our high defense will be enough for us to outlast him. As per, we get the ribbon in this room, and now we have all ribbons in the game. So even with our high defense, he still hits us for like 3000 plus health. Gonna have to do a grind, unfortunately. There's no way around it. We come back at level 64 and we try Echidna first. It's a close fight and we lose Hendrik, but we come out on top. We try Ahriman and lose the first time, but win on our second attempt, but we had to use 5 elixirs. Now we try the two-headed dragon again. Rebeats us again. We decide to leave here and come back tomorrow after some grinding. So after the grind, we are now level 70 and I am hoping we are strong enough to beat the two-headed dragon. My health is at 5000 plus and I have equipped the crystal helm to boost my defense even more, as he doesn't use spells, so I have no need for the ribbon. We lose on our first try as we ain't healing for enough, so time to ditch the blood sword and get the defenders out. We are now hitting way harder and we get lucky with how we target his party, netting us a win with no downs. Moment of truth, can we beat the Cloud of Darkness? We re-equip the blood swords, which looking back seemed like a bad idea because I have elixirs and they're still not healing for as much as she's hitting for. So we lose our first attempt and then we decide to go big brain and go dual blood sword. There's no way this is going to work. We lost for some reason. But instead of spamming particle beam like she usually does, she kept attacking. So even with godlike RNG, we still couldn't win with the dual blood swords. We go back to using defenders as the second weapon and we hit much harder. We only use 12 elixirs, but we do lose Hendrik. And with that, the night only run is done. Our final level was level 70 and the time taken was 20 hours and 19 minutes, making it the fastest time and lowest level so far. Did any of you guess it? I am very curious. I hope you all really enjoyed the video, and if you could give it a like and subscribe to the channel, you would be greatly appreciated, as these videos take a long time to make and you would also be helping out the channel big time. Now, with that out the way, it is time to spin the wheel. And we got red mid, so we can change into that right at the start of the game, which makes me think this will be a good early game and fall off drastically towards the end. As always guys, If you want to watch the full playthrough, check out the Final Fantasy 3 Night Only playlist, and I will catch you all in a bit. Ta-da!